Hey guys, it's Friends Gaming here, and welcome back to another YouTube video. And today we're going to be talking about Battlefield 1. I'm going to be going through what I think is good about the game and what I think is bad about the game. So let's get into this. Alright, so we're going to start with the good things about the game, or at least the base. This is all going off the base, by the way, before anyone says, oh, they're changing this for the full game. I know they probably are, but this is, me talking about the game so far and what I've played. So the things that I liked was it definitely feels like a Battlefield game. Often, because obviously Battlefield's been constantly kind of going forwards in time, generally speaking. I know there's been some that haven't, I think. One was like a spin-off, but generally speaking, it goes kind of forwards in time. So the fact that this went all the way back to World War I, it could have so easily felt like a really bad game. If that makes sense, like it could have felt like a non-Battlefield game. Like, Hardline didn't really feel like a Battlefield game to me. But it really does feel like a kind of Battlefield 4 kind of thing, but just completely like retextured with some different weapons and some different mechanics, and they've not rebuilt it from the ground up kind of thing. It still feels like a Battlefield game. They've just tweaked it quite a lot, which I really like. I love the kind of feel of Battlefield games, and the fact they've kept that I really like. There's also an absolutely ginormous range of weapons, really. There's some that, there's LMGs. The two LMGs I used, one was like a long-range assault rifle with a massive kind of clip. That was pretty cool. You've got your standard LMG with the big kind of barrel. The gun weapons look really cool as well. They're really accurate. There's also, ridiculously quick-firing guns. There's your semi-automatic guns. There's guns that feel like they should be semi-auto, but you can fire them fully automatic. There's a sword you hit people with while you're on a horse. All sorts of different weapons. There's a huge range. I really liked that. But, some people might not like the range of weapons, but for me, that was a big benefit. The fact there's such a big kind of range of types of weapons and attachments and stuff. There was a lot of them. Obviously, you couldn't customize the attachments. I did do some research online. There's a ton of attachments as well, such as the bayonet and stuff, really historically accurate and quite unique attachments. So, the weapons is definitely a big thing for me, and they've really delivered that, but they always do Battlefield games. There's always a huge range of weapons to choose from. And the other thing is the gameplay is good. I know some people are going to be like, no it's not, but I'm going to get into that in a minute, what parts of the gameplay aren't good. But, you kind of gun-on-gun combat, the suppression and stuff in Battlefield games is real-term suppression. That really helps the game. When you're running across a desert, getting shot by, turrets and just snipers and stuff, you really feel like you're in a kind of that kind of situation getting shot to hell because of the suppression. You can hear bullets everywhere if you're wearing a headset. It's really immersive, I think is the word I'm looking for. It really feels like a World War I battlefield. That's also probably caused some issues of how historically accurate it is, but as far as the kind of immersion in the gameplay, it's really good. Gun-on-gun gameplay especially is really good, as it always has been in Battlefield games. And it's just really immersive. It's just really good in that sense. I don't know how to describe it. It really does feel like you're in that kind of setting, and they've not just reskinned everything to be a World War I. It feels like you are fighting in that area rather than just reskinning everything. Alright, so now we're on to the bad stuff. Obviously, I didn't want to talk about the good stuff loads of the video because it's kind of self-explanatory, but the first thing is tanks are borderline OP. Some people making videos saying, oh, they're not really because you can disable them by doing this. But the simple fact is, as far as the beta goes, at the very least, there is not enough to take out tanks. There is, but in reality, you've got to have an entire organised team to take out a tank, which is just a major issue. I don't know how to explain it. Basically, tanks can automatically repair themselves, so you don't need to, like other Battlefield games, get somebody else to repair your tank for you, or you don't need to get out the tank and repair it. You can repair your tank just by getting out of combat, which is just ridiculous. That shouldn't happen. It's just dumb. So even if you get a tank really low and then you die, it's just going to be back up to full health in like 30 seconds time, which just shouldn't be a thing. Also, the tanks are bulkier. It's hard to take them out. There's less rockets, less stuff. Basically, the only way you can take them out is an incredibly well-thrown grenade that lands perfectly underneath the tank. Which disables the tracks, makes it immobile, but then again, it can still repair itself, so you've got to really kind of kill it after that. There is a kind of, I haven't used it yet, but there's a rocket launcher of a fashion. However, it doesn't do that much damage, and you have to kind of mount it to use it, so you're kind of a sitting duck while you're using it. And there's also kind of sniper bullets you can use, but realistically, the only way you can probably take out a tank is on your own or with like 2 or 3 people is driving an artillery truck, which requires multiple people, or using like a mounted massive rocket launcher, which is really hard to aim with and has no anything to aim with. It's really hard to use. So tanks do feel a bit overpowered, and it just kind of ruined the flow of the game, because if somebody's in a tank, you know you can't kill him and you just got to kind of run away. It just doesn't feel very good. I feel like they need to tweak the tanks a bit. Literally, if they just took out self-repair, I think they'd be fine. This whole, I don't know why they can, how they can self-repair is beyond me. But it seems like if you've got somebody else in the vehicle, you can repair from, you shouldn't be able to repair from inside the vehicle, basically. That should not be a thing, it's ridiculous. But I'm ranting too much about that now. The maps, or at least the map we played in the beta, for me, on Conquest it was okay, because Conquest, you know, is always big open vehicles and stuff. But on the Rush game mode, it just felt too open. Especially the first 3 points or so, because normally, you know, there's buildings, there's places you can take cover. First couple of checkpoints on Rush, on this map, specifically, that we played, you could just get sniped to hell. I mean, the enemy team could all be snipers, it was just ridiculous, they could just shoot the living hell out of you. And there was just no cover for the people attacking. It was ridiculous. You couldn't. It just shouldn't be that open a map on Rush. It doesn't feel right from playing a lot of Battlefield games. But that just might be my opinion, so I'm not going to go on about that too much. Snipers have always been powerful. They're meant to be powerful in Battlefield games, so I'm going to move on. However, I am going to come back to snipers because I have just thought. Normally in Battlefield games, snipers have quite a big bullet drop, which obviously makes them harder to use, therefore there's the whole skill cap. If you want to snipe, you've got to be good at sniping. The bullet drop has been ridiculously decreased. The bullet drop now is barely anything. It used to be a massive bullet drop depending on how far away you were. Now, I can probably shoot someone, you might see it in the footage here, but I was shooting people from hundreds of meters away with a iron sight sniper, which just should not happen. There was no bullet drop. There's barely any bullet drop until he gets like ridiculous lengths, and that just feels a bit overpowered. It shouldn't be like that. You may as well just use that as a shotgun. It's just ridiculous. It just shouldn't be a thing, okay? It should not be a thing. But, you know, obviously that's just the bouncing issues of the game. There are some bouncing issues, but this is what a beta is for, to find the issues with bouncing. So when we get to the full game, I might not be talking about any of these things. Bouncing might be completely fixed, and it might be completely okay. I obviously don't know yet. But one of the things that does need a balance is the medic class. The weapons aren't that bad, but in Battlefield games, reviving is quite a big thing, and in this game, most people don't call to revive, and even when they do call to revive, the icon is tiny. In Battlefield, if you were playing as a medic, you'd see about 50,000 revive icons. They were huge, you could see them dead easily. In this game, they're tiny. Even when somebody requests, they're tiny, and they bleed out within about 3 seconds. Just bigger revive icons. Simple as that. But I'm just going to get into how they can improve this game, what tweaks I think they need to make, so let's get into that. Right, so this is what I think needs to change, and it's mostly balancing stuff. There needs to be more things to kill tanks. Simple as, or it needs to be easier, or the tanks need to be less repairable. You should have to get out of a tank to repair a tank, or somebody else should have to repair vehicles. You should not be able to repair your own vehicle. That shouldn't be a thing. And just more anti-tank stuff if not, or make it easier to aim with the existing anti-tank stuff. Just make it easier to kill tanks or make tanks not able to repair themselves. That'll be fine. The other thing is more bullet drop on snipers. I mean, I've already gone through this. That's all that needs to happen. They just need to increase the bullet drop a bit. It won't be as overpowered. That's simple. And a bigger revive symbol. If they do some bigger revive symbols, medics way better instantly. Now, as my summary overall, I really enjoyed Battlefield, and to be honest, as far as the FPSs go this year, I'm leaning more on the side of Battlefield to COD, which in my lifetime I've never done. So that says a lot about Infinite Warfare, and a lot about Infinite Warfare I'm not looking forward to at all. I'll probably possibly end up buying it. I mean, I'll regret it because I want Modern Warfare, but that's £80, so I probably won't. But Battlefield's good. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed playing it a lot. It was a lot of fun to play with friends. It was a blast. I really enjoyed it. So, all in all, I do think it's going to be a really solid game. I really enjoyed playing it. So, I'm sure if you guys do want to pick up the game, you will enjoy it too. If they fix the bouncing issues, for me, it is a really, really good Battlefield game. I will play the hell out of it. It just seems really good. I know other people have this opinion, and people have been going, no, it's awful, but the gameplay is there. You know, some betas you see the gameplay and you hate the game. With this, the gameplay's there. It's not massive things to fix, it's balancing issues. That is what currently makes the game slightly annoying. If they fix the bouncing issues, the gameplay's already there, it's really well made, the planes are really well made, the vehicles, the guns, they just need to bounce the game. If they tweak the game, if they fix the bouncing, I think it'll be a really good game. But that's going to be all for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.